Hello everyone, I'm Erica of beadingschool.com and you are watching No One Has to Bead Alone, my weekly beading workshop to make sure that every beader all around the world has company. Today we are going to bead my friend Susie's salvia earrings, and I'm really excited for this because they are super pretty. I hope that you can hear me and I hope that you can see me. And most importantly, I hope that you are here reading with me, even if we are meeting this week on Thursday instead of our usual Friday evening. Sorry, I'm not so happy with my hair. Whatever. I see Cindy checking in, and Donna, and Sandra, and Gunel, and the Easleys, Catherine, right? And Malia, and another Catherine, and Linda, and Rachel, and Cindy, and Angelica. Angelica is having iced coffee with Baileys. That sounds more than ready, dear Angelica. Donna, Cindy, Sherry, Cara. Yay, Cara says, so glad to see your hair up so we can see those beautiful beauties flying on your ears. I'm in love with the new earrings. And actually, like, I always admire you ladies, like how many finished pieces you have. And I'm often guilty of like sometimes leaving something unfinished. But with this team, my pile of finished jewelry is growing and growing, and we are only like 2 weeks into the team, and I have finished pairs of earrings, a finished bracelet, 2 necklaces are coming together. So it's really I'm enjoying this so much, especially after like seeing you being happy with the colors and shapes and having dreams of butterflies. Lita is asking about my dental adventures this week. It's okay. It feels. Thank you so much for asking, Lita. I still have a bit of trouble when I'm eating something crunchy. A cheese croissant in the morning is challenging, but it's because my teeth are sensitive now. But all is good. Thank you so much. And Connie is here, and Laura, and Alessandra, and Jill, and Antoinette, and Jen, Rachel, my pleasure, and Amanda, Claire, Jennifer, Linda, Elena, Miriam, Terry, Dawn, and some Facebook user friends. So you can watch today's workshop live from the Beading School YouTube channel, from the Beading School Facebook page, from the club, from my own personal profile. But in case that you are watching from the club, which is a closed safe space for Beading School beaders on the internet, then you might need to give additional permission to my broadcasting program. You can do that by opening up the description part about the video and clicking the link in the last row, and then I can see your name and see your face, and then I can greet you personally. And hi, Carol, and Neeti, and Belinda. The broadcasting program that I am using, it makes it possible for me to like put pictures on the screen, not only one thing, use 2 cameras, for example, so it's super important. And if I can address you personally, then it makes it, I think, friendlier, which is the main goal of the workshop. And also, of course, it's easier if you ask a question and then I can address you personally, and not everyone is a Facebook user. So thank you if you decide to do that. I also see Nancy. Oh, Cindy, I'm sorry for your loss. And I'm glad that the butterflies bring you a bit of ease during these hard days. And Michelle joined us in the meanwhile, and Margaret also made it, and Corinne, I also see you. So ladies, let's see what Susie actually prepared for us for today, because the salvia, it's Susie's design, and I already have half an earring. So today I'm hoping to complete together with you the other half of the earring. Just a moment, and I will show you where can you download the tutorial, because as always there is a PDF tutorial, of course, that makes it easier for you to follow today's workshop. And also you can, of course, save it to your computer or print it. So if you go to novanhastobedalone.com, or if you go to beadingschool.com and then click on No One Has to Bead Alone in the main menu, then first you see, of course, the material list that is already available a few days back. And then if you scroll down a little bit, you can either put the tutorial into your shopping basket and supporting the broadcast by buying it for €5, or you can download the tutorial for free if you type in your email address and click the send button, and then it will arrive directly into your inbox. By the way, a recent addition to the website is that if you click the events link, then it will bring up for you all the upcoming events for the next month, or even more than a month in this case. So if you would like to get ready for next No One Has to Bead Alone workshops, or you would like to know what kind of topic are we discussing during a coffee time with Erica, then this is your go-to place. This was past Tuesday's coffee time with Erica, and actually I also typed it up as an article and drew the instructions for the 2 beaded hangers, so they will come to you on Monday. And then, as you can see, on Saturday, we are having a storytelling night for our Turquoise and Fuchsia Beading School Academy students with Chenge, and I'm super curious about her stories about butterflies. Then next week on Tuesday, we will be discussing all kind of round stones, because sometimes it gets confusing. What is a chaton? What is a rivoli? What is a chaton rose? How can I work with them? So you can get ready with your questions about all kinds of round stones. And then next week on Friday, we are meeting again for a Zuzi design, the lantana earrings. So I hope that this helps you getting ready in advance. And if you have, actually, we made this because many of you asked for an event calendar. So if you have some ideas how we can make it easier and better for you to follow the workshops or anything else, then just let us know, and we are always open to your suggestions. So thank you so much for all of those. And in the meanwhile, I hope that you downloaded the tutorial, and let's get started. Let's see what we are going to need for today's salvia earrings. I will switch to my hand camera. So as always, please be so nice and let me know if you can still hear me and see me, because when I switch the cameras, then there is always a risk that something will go wrong. So I would like to make sure that you can still hear me and see me. So I'm also going to show you my own version in the meanwhile. So Please let me know, ladies. Is it still okay? I hope so. Okay, dear Sandra, thank you so much. And in the meanwhile, I would also like to greet Belinda and Facebook user friend from Pennsylvania. And Gisela joined us. Okay, great. Thank you so much for letting me know that it still works. So let's see, what do you need for today's little motif? Let's make a little check. And please let me know if you have any questions about the material. So first of all, every motif, which can actually become not only an earring, but also a little pendant, or also I can imagine a beautiful bracelet with these kinds of motifs. So every motif that you will make, you will need for it 2 pieces of 5 times 10 millimeter navettes in metal claw settings. In the original, Susie has the beautiful sparkly ones from the Dream of Sibylla box. I ran out of those, so I substituted them with still beautiful, but more ordinary looking white opal. By the way, we managed to restock nearly all of the navette cabochons in this size, so it's worth to check it out if you haven't done it yet in the bead shop. And then, besides the cabochons, you will also need 4 paisley duo beads. I have them in this vibrant lilac, 4 pieces for each motif. So this is what really, really reminds me of a butterfly in this case, the 4 wing-shaped paisley duos. And then for the middle, where the navettes meet, we will add a 4 millimeter Preciosa Suwon rhinestone. Mine comes in the amethyst opaline gold setting. And in case that you have a smaller or a bigger Preciosa Suwon rhinestone, it's not a problem. You will just need to adjust the number of seed beads around it. So in case that you have a bigger one, then add fewer seed beads on the sides of it. And if you have a smaller one, then of course you will need more seed beads. And with the smaller rhinestone, the rhinestone will not completely cover where the navettes meet, but it will also be nice, and it is possible to make it from that. Then you will also need bicones. I apologize, there we have a typo here, I have just noticed. So for one motif, you need 4 pieces of 4 millimeter Preciosa bicones, but then the fuchsia ones, they are 3 millimeter bicones. You need 2 pieces of those. So 4 4 millimeter ones and 2 3 millimeter Preciosa bicones. And then seed beads. And the seed beads that we are going to use are size 15 and size 11 Miyuki round seed beads, and then some Delicas on the top and at the bottom. Depending on the type of jewel that you are going to make, you will also need some findings. And since I also ran out of earring findings from my box, because I already made lots of earrings, then I found the pair that was in my signature box, and I think it matches perfectly the fuchsia colored bicones with these fuchsia rhinestones. So I'm super happy with how it came out. And of course, the topic, butterflies, flowers, they just match each other perfectly. So this is what you need. Do you have any questions, ladies? I also see Robina. I also see Ginny, Joyce. Joyce is here. Jeannie is sharing that recently she tried the Miyuki needles, and she also likes those besides the tulips. Wendy is here, and Ginny, other Ginny, and Gemma is here, and Joanna, and Leah. So, ladies, if you don't have questions about the material that you need, then let's start beading. I will use my usual tulip beading needle and 0.12 millimeter for LB Fireline. As always, I leave a little tail thread at the end of my motif, and then I will secure it later. The tail I leave is about 5-6 inches or 10-12 centimeters. And Antoinette has a technical problem with Facebook. Unfortunately, I don't have the answer for that, Antoinette. Please try sending us an email. Maybe Adam can help you, but unfortunately, I can't help with that. So, in the first step, we are starting by picking up a paisley duo bead. And with all the paisley duos, I would like to ask you to be attentive towards two things. On one hand, both holes of the paisleys need to be open, so please take a quick look. Usually it can be seen from the side if the hole is open, and make sure that the paisleys are orientated in the right way. So those are two things that you need to be careful about today. And then please pick up a paisley duo around 15, a navette, another round 15, paisley, round 15. The navette will be at the top and the bottom, and then in between them will be two pairs of paisleys, and everything is divided by round 15 seed beads. And Jessica just joined us. Hello, Jessica. So I like to lay this flat on my bead mat to make sure that I have everything correctly. And I actually discovered some camera settings that I can bring this closer to you without moving my camera that I'm using. So I hope that this makes it nicer for you to see what's happening on my bead mat. So I have on my thread paisley round 15, navette round 15, paisley round 15, paisley round 15, navette round 15, paisley round 15. And what I am going to do now, I will bead all around two more times, suggested by Susie, to make sure that we have a strong base. What I see happening sometimes when we work with navettes in close setting is that sometimes beaders accidentally, or I do that too, accidentally push the needle only through half of the navette. So please make sure that when you bead through the navette again, then please bead through both of the holes in the close setting. otherwise the thread will be showing on the back. And Teresa just joined us. And Sandra says that it looks good, so I'm happy about that. So I beaded around the beads one time. I'm repeating the thread pass one more time as Susie suggested. By the way, I do have a question. So, is it okay? This might be too small. We will stay this way. I was wondering if I can make the illustration a bit smaller so you see better what's happening on my bead mat, but then it's too small and I can't adjust that, so it stays half and half on the screen. In the meanwhile, I bead it all around for the second time too, and I will finish this first step by beading through the first hole of that very first paisley duo one more time. So my goal is, after repeating the thread pass twice, my goal is to have the tail thread and the working thread hanging from the same paisley duo in opposite directions. And Susan joined us. Good morning, dear Susan. Also Dentist Day. Yeah, and sorry for not having like nice nails. I loved the gel, but it damaged my nails so bad that it became really, really fragile and horrible. So even if I don't feel comfortable anymore without the gel, but for the health of my nails, I made a decision to keep them colorless. And hi, Loretta. And now let's see what's happening in step 2. In step 2, first I bead through round 15 navette. Again, I want to make sure that I bead through both holes of the navette. Round 15. And then a paisley and the round 15 in between the two paisleys on the left side of my motif. Kata! So good to see you! I'm glad you stopped working in a reasonable time today. So, my thread is hanging from the round 15 between the two paisleys, and now is the time to add the rhinestone in the middle. And this is when you can adjust the number of seed beads if you have a smaller or bigger rhinestone in the middle. So, since I am using the one from the box and what Susie is using, of course, in her original, the 4mm one, then I will pick up 3 round 15s. I pick up the rhinestone itself and 3 more round 15s. Now I bead through the round 15s between the paisleys on the other side of the motif. So one hole of the rhinestone is fixed, and now we will fix the other hole. To do that, I bead back through the last two round 15s that I have picked up, but then instead of going through the third one, I pick up a new round 15 and I bead through the open second hole of the rhinestone. So when I pull my thread, then the rhinestone will turn sideways. After beading through the rhinestone, I pick up another round 15, and from this first group of three, I skip the one that is next to the rhinestone and I bead through the other two and also through the round 15 that is sitting in between the paisleys. If it's easier for you, for me it is, you can directly continue into the paisley that is next to it. So when I pull my thread, then this part will become nice and I can continue building my motif. And thank you, Wendy. Actually, like today, I received a package from the Treasury ladies, and recently I was complaining a bit to Andrea that my nails got so unhealthy, and imagine she included like 2 serums that I can apply to my nails to make them look nice and healthy again. Just so much attention that wow, I'm blown away. And in the meanwhile, Marjorie joined us, and Robin joined us, and Susie is here. And thank you, Susie, for this beautiful motif. I love it. So after beading through that paisley, I continue beading in the original thread path, how I was picking up the beads. So I started out from the round 15 between the paisleys, then paisley, round 15, navette, round 15, and then paisley, round 15, and the inside and the outside hole of the paisley on the top right side. So this is how it should look like at the moment. By the way, when I was beading this motif, then I was also thinking that it can also become a bracelet, but not with like separate motifs. But imagine, ladies, if we started to add now more paisleys here right away on this navette. And then, of course, more navettes, more paisleys, and so on. And then you would need to just find how to connect the outside holes of the paisleys. And this would be such a beautiful matching bracelet, I think. So, Susie, thank you for designing such a cute thing that sparkles so many additional ideas. I hope that somebody will play with this possibility. Leah was hoping for it that we will bead this early in the team because she's going to wear it to a special lunch with a friend. Aww. So I finished step 2 with my thread hanging from the top right side paisley from the top towards me, basically towards the other paisley. And by the way, ladies, the jewels that I showed you at the beginning of the team, I told you that those are only the first designs that we made for you, but there is more coming. So at the end of today's video, I would like to show you something that is made by Ruxandra, and it's going to be an No One Has to Be Alone design later during the team. But now back to this, and I'm going to connect the outside holes of the paisley duos and the navettes to each other. So I pick up a 3mm bicone and I bead through the outside hole of the paisley below the one that I was exiting. Now I pick up a round 15, a 4mm bicone. I love this color, by the way, of the bicone. It is amethyst AB 2 times. Amethyst opal, I think, actually. So 4mm bicone, round 11, and then I pick up 5 Miyuki Delica size 11s. So exiting the paisley, and on my needle there is round 15, 4mm bicone, round 11, and 5 pieces of Miyuki Delica size 11. Now I will bead through the outside hole, the second hole of the navette, but in the opposite direction. So the 5 Miyuki Delicas will get wrapped around the tip of the navette. I will bead through 4 of them one more time. So I bead through the first 2. I skip the one in the middle, and then I continue to the third and to the fourth and the fifth one, the last 2. And Joyce is asking, it's very cute. Is this designed from the signature box or just the earring findings? Dear Joyce, I'm glad you like it. And this is designed from the Sibylla Beading School Academy box, only the earring finding, because I ran out of the Academy box findings. Only the earring findings I took from the signature box. And hi, Donna. And now I finish this part by picking up a round 11, a bicone, and a round 15. And then I bead through the outside hole of the next paisley. And now I will just basically repeat what I have done already to complete this step. So I add a 3mm Preciosa bicone in between the paisleys here, and then I pick up a round 15, a 4mm Preciosa bicone, a round 11, 5 pieces of Miyuki Delica, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I bead through the open hole of the navette in the opposite direction. Then I bead through the first 2 delicas one more time. I skip the one in the middle, and I bead through the 4th and the fifth Delica, the last two out of the group of 5. So this makes this part more pointy and wraps it around the navette securely. And I finish this by picking up around 11, a 4mm bicone around 15, and I bead through the original paisley that I was exiting from at the beginning of this step. Let's see if you have any questions so far. Robina is waiting for her first box. Yay! Exciting. And Dawn is wondering if she could make this into a ring. I think the motif is good for that. If you make it like wrapped around your finger, then you would need to be a bit careful so it doesn't get tangled up on some clothes. But the motif is nice for a ring, I think. And let's see what's happening in step 4. In step 4, more reinforcements are coming on the outer edge of the motif. So I'm exiting a paisley with my thread hanging towards a 3mm bicone. I pick up 5 pieces of around 15 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I bead through the bicone backwards. Be careful with the thread not to damage it on the edges of the bicone, by the way. And then I bead through the first 2 round 15s. I skip the one in the middle and I bead through the 4th and 5th round 15. Now I bead through paisley round 15, bicone round 11, and I will double now. I really love this detail from Susie. I will double now this part from the Delicas to make the motif sturdier. So to do that, I will first pick up 3 pieces of Miyuki Delicas, and I bead through the one in the middle from the previous group in the opposite direction. So this was the one that I skipped previously. So exiting the round 11, I pick up 3 new Delicas, and then I bead through the Delica from the opposite, from the previous group in the middle, from the opposite direction. And I bead one more time through the 3rd Delica that I have just picked up. So basically, I am attaching the 2 beads to each other with a tiny square stitch. I finish this by picking up 2 more Delicas, and again I bead through the outside hole of the navette in the opposite direction. And now comes the part to make this group of 5 also pointier. So I bead through 2 Delica beads. I skip the one in the middle that is attached to the bottom, and I bead directly through the 2nd group that I have added. So this makes this part super nice, I think. So nicely wrapped around the navette. And then I continue into the round 11, bicone round 15, and through the first paisley duo. And now it's time to repeat the whole thing, the whole sequence, one more time. So, first of all, I'm picking up 5 pieces of the round 15s and I bead through the bicone in the opposite direction. I bead through the first 2 round 15s, I skip the one in the middle, and I bead through the 4th and the 5th bead, and then directly into the paisley, and so on. Robina says, I am picturing the paisley drop you made at Tuesday's Coffee Time under it. That's a good idea, actually. If I can find it, then let's see how it would look like. Oh, here it is. And I think if the colors would be matching, it's a different color of paisley, then it would be perfect together. Indeed. Now I continue into the bicone and into the round 11, and I will do the Delica part one more time. So exiting the round 11, I pick up 3 pieces of Miyuki Delicas, the same color as before. I bead in the opposite direction through the Delica in the middle of the previous group of 5 that is going to be in the bottom. I bead through the 3rd new Delica bead in the original direction one more time. So that's actually a tiny square stitch attaching Delica to Delica. Then I pick up 2 more Delica beads and I bead through the outside second hole of the navette in the opposite direction. Now comes the making it pointy part. So I bead through the first 2 Delicas out of a group of 5. I skip the one in the middle and I bead through the 4th and 5th Delica. So when I pull my thread, this part becomes so nice and neat. I really, really like it. And then I finish this step by beading through round 11, bicone, round 15, and paisley. And Nicolene, I see you now. Yeah, only this week, it's Thursday. Nicolene says it was confusing if it's Thursday or Friday. I'm sorry about that. It's Thursday only this time because tomorrow I am traveling, but we stay with Fridays normally. You can always check the event calendar on the page to make sure that you have the right date. And Ginny says, I have only been doing this type of beading for a short time, and I can't believe how easy your patterns are to do, but they look so difficult as a complete piece. They are so beautiful and elegant. Dear Ginny, wow, welcome to the gang, first of all. Beading is addictive, I have to warn you. And thank you so much for that compliment. That's exactly what I would love to achieve, that the jewels that you make, they look like jewels that made from beads, made by you, but they look elegant and neat and nice, but as easy to make as possible. And Ginny, if you have any questions, there are lots of things to get familiar with at the beginning. Please don't hesitate to ask them in the beading school, club. So now comes already the part when I am attaching the earring hook. Or, well, sorry, it's an ear stud this time, not an earring hook. So I need to bead around the motif to make it a bit sturdier. So this time I'm beading through all 5 round 15s, and then I continue on the edge of the motif. And lovelies, you see each other's names because you are all on Facebook. The problem is that I'm watching not from Facebook, but from my broadcasting program. And that is where I can't always see your names if you are watching from the Beading School Club. So if you are both on Facebook, then you see each other. The problem is with me because I am watching everyone at the same time through my program. This makes it also possible that all the comments that come in through the club, through the page, through YouTube even, I can see them all at one place. So that's why this program is so important. I'm nearly there to attach the earring. What I want to do, I want to exit from a Delica in the middle of a group of 5. Ow. I managed to stick the needle into my finger, but no blood is shed, luckily. So what I want to do is that I want to attach an extra Miyuki Delica that will hold the loop for the ear stud. This is the one that I am showing you, and that Delica is attached to both Delicas in the middle of the 2 groups. So I have around the tip of the navette 2 groups of 5 Miyuki Delica beads, and there will be a new one sitting on the top, being attached to both Delica beads in the middle. So to do that, first I'm exiting the one on the top row, but it doesn't actually matter. I pick up a new Delica, and then I bead through the same bead that I am exiting. So the Delica in the middle of the top row. Now I bead through the Delica in the bottom row in the same position, so in the middle of a group of 5. And I attach it to the new bead with a square stitch again in the same way. So I bead through the new bead, and I bead through the Delica in the middle of the bottom row one more time. So there is actually a little pyramid sitting on top of the motif now, a little triangle with the new bead in the middle. Oh, thank you, ladies. On a good day when I'm well rested and I had enough coffee, then it seems after 3 years easy. But yeah, when I'm doing also something else, like doing a live design, it's also coming during this theme, of course, by the end. Or if I'm drawing on Illustrator and showing that to you, then it becomes a bit more challenging. So now I will actually bead again through the Delica in the front row and then through the new bead again. And now all I need to do is to add a little loop of round 15 seed beads. So I pick up 3 round 15s. I pick up the earring itself. And I pick up 3 more round 15s. And I bead through the new Delica bead one more time. So this is how it looks like at the moment. But I want to make this nicer and sturdier. And Michelle actually pointed out that I am differing now from the diagram. So here I am adjusting the I'm sorry, I did not point that out. I should have done that. So what's happening here? Why is there a difference? Zuzi needed different beads, and Zuzi used a different earring base, and she liked it to be attached in a different way to her motif. So my attachment between the main motif and between the earring is a bit different than Zuzi's. So that's why it's different. So I can show you my type of connection now. So what I am doing, first I'm just repeating the thread path through the 3 new beads, earring, 3 new beads, and Delica at the bottom. And actually, I will repeat it one more time, but at the end of the 3rd repetition, I don't bead into the Delica, but I bead from the 2nd group of 3 round 15s into the 1st group of 3 round 15s without beading through the Delica. And what's happening here, that the 2 round 15s get pulled together and the loop will look more like a teardrop than a simple circle. And in my opinion, it's a little bit more elegant. And then I can continue in my normal way. And all I have now left is securing my thread ends. And I have another pair of earrings done. I'm super happy about this. So, ladies, how are you doing? How is your earring? I'm curious to know if it's coming together nicely and if you used the same colors from the box or if you used your own color combination. Sherry says they are so cute. Leah says it's going great. And Margaret says, Erica, the Suvan rhinestone is only secured to the straight openings. Are the wiggling in the other way fall down to the navettes? They are all right, Margaret, because they lay nice and flat on top of the navettes on one hand. So if you are adjusting the size of it, then that's why you need to adjust the number of seed beads. And on the other hand, the rhinestones are attached through both holes, not only one, because the round 15s are actually in a little V shape or Y shape. So both holes are secured. Michelle is waiting for paisleys. Rachel will make a bracelet with the colors from the box. Needy says, I need to order more navettes. Joyce is waiting for her box. Loretta says they are very pretty. Aww. Gisela says, first I use the box, but I think I make another one of my stock. I'm really, really happy, ladies, that you like them. I'm also super happy with how they came out. More little butterflies on my bead mat. And yeah. Robina says, I love seeing you wearing your swallowtails. And actually, I have 3 jewels, the swallowtails. I wanted to show them to you because I have 2 more color combinations. So I have a brooch and I wanted to show you that you can make it into different types of jewels. So I also have a brooch from a swallowtail using one of the brooch braces from the brooch filigree box. And then I hang the glass drop from the bottom. So this one is blue and crystal and a little bit of green. And then I also have a pink and green one. I actually, last week I made a video for you from the swallowtail because I wanted to give the video as a gift besides the PDF. But then at the end, I noticed that it was blurry. So it's not something that came together at the end, but this is the 3rd color combination that I was beading during the video. And I need to still add, I want to add the Preciosa drop at the bottom, and I think this will become a pendant to have like a variety of swallowtails. And I used different colors, but actually today I ordered some Bermuda blue from our treasury, from the guide beads, because they were finally restocked, both in silver and in gold claw settings. So I think that actually I will have to make one more pair of earrings with the Bermuda blue kite cabochons. And I have 2 more jewels that I would like to show you, actually, if you still have a bit of time for me. So on Tuesday, we were playing with these little cute motifs that you can hang under an earring, for example, to make it longer. So I was showing you during coffee time with Erica that how you can make this part. And then I started to play, and this is what's happening on my bead mat now. So I had two of these little motifs, and I added two 5 times 10 millimeter navettes and a kite in the middle, so it will also become a necklace. I'm happy that you like it. So this was the second jewel that I wanted to show you that I am making. I also have one more necklace that I want to finish, and then I will add the material list. But I also have something from Ruxandra that I wanted to show you, because one of these weeks we are going to be no one has to be the one design from Ruxandra. This is something else that can grow wings on your bead mat. So Ruxandra's butterfly is called Candy Wing, and we will start beading this with a peyote bezeled 8mm chaton. So that will be a homework for you. This is not next week yet. I'm going to schedule it and add it to the event calendar. But you can already start thinking about your colors. Ruxandra used the original colors from the box, so you can make it in the same if you would like to. So this is also coming a little bit later during a Friday workshop. And before I would say goodbye, then I would like to just mention that this week we added lots of different colors from the fire polished beads with the pastel alabaster finish that I love working with recently in focus. So there are lots of different shades from those coming, but also the Pacifica finishes, and we restocked many old favorites. So it's worth to check them out. And if you place an order for €40, $43, or £35 between this week's coffee time, so that was this Tuesday, and between next week's coffee time, so Tuesday next week, 5 p.m. Central European time. Wanda says she can't hear me, but according to my program, there is sound. Can you hear me, ladies? So, yeah. So if you place an order before next coffee time for this amount, then you will get a cute gift with flower earrings, a pair of flower earrings, and also the plastic thingies that you can put on the back of your ear studs, so you don't lose them. Lita is asking, the prices are not showing in USD anymore. I will show you a trick, because it might happen that it's not showing automatically. We had to start using a different program because there was a little mishap with this one, that conversion program that was not working well. Just on the technical side, nothing that you would need to be concerned about, but we wanted a different one. And what you can do is that there is, this way. So here in the top right, you can see the currency, and you can actually change it as you would like to. If it doesn't detect where you are, then you can change it into dollars or pounds or euros. So it's working. And also, just a little note, one of our beader friends was asking where is the drawer on the website in the bead shop, where you can see what was restocked. So we call it treasury restock, and you can find it in the menu, or you can also find it if you click on the main bead shop part, then treasury restock, and then you can see what they managed to restock during the previous days. Yay, there are the kites in Bermuda blue, and also the tile beads, the table cut tile beads that we need for Terry's beautiful earrings. And Michelle says, this was my first Facebook live. Loved it. We'll see you again, I'm sure. This was fun. We'll work to get my supplies ready next time. Michelle, thanks for joining us. That's so sweet that you came to bead with us. See you next time. And then Marjorie is asking, Erica, when we are on waitlist for an item, do we get an email when they are again in stock? Yes, indeed. So that's super helpful if you are doing that. For example, I just noticed that even if we managed to restock the Violet Shine navettes, then unfortunately they are out of stock again, but you can join the waitlist and you will get an email notification as soon as we manage to restock them. Lita is asking, will you ever have a buy it now for patterns? Sorry, Lita, I don't understand that. What do you mean exactly? Miriam would like to get beading time. Oh my god, if I had more beading time, I think that would be a treasure on the bead shop. Joyce is asking, is there a way to search my downloads? So you need to be logged in and click on your account, and here you can go to your download section. How you can search them is that you hit Control F or Command F if you are on a Mac on your computer. So a little search field shows up, and then you can search the downloads. Linda is asking, how do I tighten the center of the motif? Just repeat the thread pass, Linda. Maybe if you have a longer tail thread, then you can also repeat the center part by using the tail thread when you are securing it. Lita is asking, if I want to buy a pattern but not all the stuff in my cart just yet. Oh wow, that would be such a cool function actually. We don't have that at the moment, but can you please send us an email and maybe Adam can help with it. And Robina says, as a new member, do we add top off for the next box right before the boxes go out, or do we shop as we like for the next 2 months? How does that work? Robina, thank you for that question. So for those who don't know about it yet, for our Beading School Academy students, we have a designated place in the Beading School treasury. And when you shop for something, then we can put it aside so you don't pay extra for the shipping, and then ship everything together with your box. to do that, all you need to do that when you want to check out, then select this join with order in progress option, and then we will know that we put it aside. All I ask that if you are ordering material, not tutorials, then please keep it at minimum 10 euros, otherwise it's not efficient. For tutorials it doesn't matter, but for material that needs to be moved and everything, then please keep it at minimum 10 euros, and you can do that anytime already now, and we will ship it with your next box. And Joyce, thank you, Erika, that's great. Control for Mac it's Command. Control F is for a normal PC, and for Mac it's Command F. So this went into a nice technical session, and we are continuing. And actually, I think we should do this during a coffee time also, that you can ask me anything, all these hidden tips. There was also someone actually asking recently that, I think it was Robina actually, that if there is an option to show only goodies that are in stock at the moment. And yes, indeed. So if you scroll down a little bit, then there is a filter. You can select based on color, with shape, and so on. And here you see in stock. Sorry. So now I see, when I clicked this, then I see only, why is this showing? Because it's a bundle, I think. For bundles it doesn't work, but for the rest it works. And then Alessandra is asking, how do I access the recordings for the storytelling? Unfortunately, I work every Saturday at the moment. So we did not do yet the previous one. Zuzi will do it next week. But what you can do is that you go back to the virtual classroom. And for example, I open the Dolce Vita theme. Then I go to the Dolce Vita storytelling night, and here you have it. Here you have the recording. So I hope that you can still hear me. Okay. So, do you have any questions left, ladies? This went into a nice bead shop and technical advice session. If you don't have any more questions, then I would like to thank you for spending this nice time together. I really enjoyed beading. Sorry, I really enjoyed beading this cute design by Susie together with you, and I can't wait to see them all on Tuesday. How you made it into finished jewels. Next week on Tuesday, we will have a coffee time with Erika about all kinds of round stones and round cabochons, so we can orientate ourselves well between rivolis and chatons and whatever. And then on Friday, Anita is asking for what's happening on Friday. So let's go back to the website for a little more, and you can always check our event calendar. So you go on beadingschool.com, you click on events, and then you can find what's happening. So next week, no one has to be again, it's a Zuzi design, and it's going to be the lantana earring. Thank you, Robina, and everyone. So, ladies, have a wonderful, creative rest of the week. Thank you so much for keeping me and each other company. Be creative and see you next week. Bye bye.